Hello, we are here at South by Southwest 2013. I have the honor to sit here with Ted Rubin, the author of Return on Relationships. You see the cover of the book right here. It's a distinctive yellow and blue cover, and check it out. I had the pleasure to read the book, and I've posted a short review along with a picture in which I tagged Ted Rubin, and guess what happened? He responded, and that's why we're here meeting and talking to each other in the Hilton Hotel in Austin. So, welcome to this little interview, Ted.
Well,
how are you doing?
Thanks so much, Lefty. I'm really happy to be here. And I have to tell you that before we even get into discussion, what you did is what I call return on relationship. I mean, it's what it's all about. We followed each other. You've seen some of the things I've done. At some point, you didn't even reach out directly. You posted something that I track those kind of things. And then I like to reach out to people. If someone writes something about me, I think it's important for me to interact with them. And we did, and you know, look at this. Lefty offered to come to the airport to pick me up in Austin. And not only did he come get me, he waited for me, and then when I get into the car, there's a bag sitting in the front seat. So of course I assume that he didn't move it to the back. So I said, is it okay if I move this? And he goes, no, that's for you. And some of you know me, some of you don't, but I tend to publish the socks I'm wearing. It's kind of a fun thing, part of my brand. People love it. We have fun going around the country, different places, different speaking engagements. I consider it part of my personal brand. And Lefty brought me a really cool pair of socks. So great way to start a relationship.
Would you like to show us your socks?
Oh, absolutely. These are the amazing socks that Lefty bought for me.
And there's a story about this. On my way to the airport, I stopped at Macy's, and when I entered the shop, I asked the lady to help me, please. So my request was, can you please find the most ugly or the ugliest pair of socks in this shop? She looked at me and said, well, I'll try. So she came back with one pair of socks. She said, you know what, there's a special. If you get 3, you get a discount. So I said, no, it's fine. One ugly pair of socks is enough. So, but yeah, it's a nice...
So clearly you think the socks I publish are ugly, so that's okay. That's, you know, but I like that. That's authentic. That's honest. So that's a good thing. But the truth is, it's about how do you look people in the eye digitally, which is something I talk about a lot. Because when we meet people face to face, what do you do when you talk to them? The right way is not to be looking at everybody passing by who you might be missing, but concentrating on the person you're with. You're taught that as a kid. You're taught that as an adult. You're taught that when you go on business meetings. But then we don't do that online. And you clearly did it because you knew something. You knew about me. You knew that socks are a part of my brand. You knew things that get me to react, and then on the other side of it, I think you can say that you saw that I knew things about you because I was going to meet with you. So therefore, I want to know who you are. I want to know a little bit more about you that I might have learned just in our initial interactions.
Exactly.
And that is how you build relationships. And the return doesn't come directly. This isn't about me doing something for you and expecting something directly in return. It's about me being the kind of person that does for other people. And the way I talk about that is that a brand is what you do, a reputation is what people remember. And that's what's really important, because that's what people take away with them, and brands forget that a lot. They think it's about the information they put out, how they talk about themselves, but it's not. It's about how other people talk about them.
Exactly. Can you share a little bit your experiences and what the most difficult part for brands is to open up and actually use the social technologies that are available, and why they struggle? What's the main point there?
Well, you know, there's 2 points that one, of course, is the old-time experience that brands are afraid to ask questions. They don't want to know what their consumers really think because then they're going to have to change too many things. And then another part of that is they're worried about the naysayers, the bad things. They're worried about the critics and the haters. Well, what I say is haters hate, and there's really not much you can do about them. But critics are incredibly valuable to a brand, because if there's one person complaining or critical of what you're doing, the odds are there are probably a few thousand others. And there's a few things going on here. First of all, by allowing them to voice that, you learn. Second of all, by responding to them publicly, you allow everybody else to hear how you're responding. Number one is they see your answering. So 2 great examples are Citibank and JetBlue. Mm-hmm. JetBlue responds to everything. And the reason they do that is they know that as human beings, we want to be engaged. We want to be heard. We want to, just like, you know, you're a married guy, and what does your wife say to you all the time? Just listen, I just want to know you're hearing me, that you're paying attention. JetBlue is not taking a plane off the runway because you're bitching on the runway because it's not taking off until the tower gives them the go-ahead. But you feel better when they're giving you information. Why are you delayed? What's happening? They're talking to you. Mm-hmm. Citibank is not going to lower their rate because you're complaining online. But you feel better when somebody reaches out to you. So that's one part of it. I think another part that people tend to overlook is it's not necessarily about the control of what people are saying, it's the control of your business. It used to be that you were getting towards the end of one year, Q4 you started making plans for the next year. You built your marketing plan and your budgets, and then it was all set. Everybody voted on it, you got your thing, the CEO said go, starting January 1st, boom, you're into the year, you don't have to think about it again. All you got to do is execute. You can't just execute anymore. It's got to be an evolving strategy. You've got to change things based on the input you get and the things that are coming in. And now every day there's a new platform, there's new ways people are communicating. And that scares companies. Why? Because it's a lot more work.
Yeah, very true. That's my experience with my own clients as well. To make the shift from the comfort zones in terms of step by step working towards a goal and becoming a dynamic storyteller or a real-time marketeer. It's really difficult for most of the organizations out there. Tell me, is there like a step-by-step approach you developed to help your clients work towards being a return on relationship business?
You know, I don't believe there's a basic step-by-step. If you in the book and if you go to my blog, tedrubin.com, I certainly write about it a lot. Different things you can do. I was just interviewed by Raj Sethi, who is doing a review of the book, and he asked me for certain things like, what are the most important things? Well, hearing people is probably one of the most important things. You know, being real, because I say real trumps perfect. So doing things the way it can really be done, not waiting for the perfect time, for the perfect thing. Engaging people and letting them know you care about them. I mean, think about the companies that are most successful. Apple, people say, well, they don't have a social presence. Oh my God, they have a huge social presence. It's people. It's stores. It's the Apple. When has Apple really blown up? Since they opened up the Apple Store, since they had the Genius Bar. Because what do? Do you ever walk out of the Apple Store not feeling good? It's like Nordstrom. Why are they one of the retailers that suffered the least in the downturn? Because they take the personal approach. Every associate, after making a sale, walks out from behind the counter, hands the bag to you personally. The associates are empowered to take you from the men's shoe department to the ladies' lingerie department. If you're just a little nervous about how do I get there, what do I buy, they don't have to say, well, that's not my department, I can't leave here, go up the steps, make a left. These are personal things. Now, can they isolate these things and measure them? No. So when people say everything has to be measured, everything doesn't have to be measured. Everything has to be measured in the long term. So your company needs to be successful. But remember how brands are built. They're built quarter to quarter, year by year. They're not built hour by hour. Mm-hmm. Right now, too many people are worried that they want to control everything. And then they start mistaking social for digital. Social is not digital. It lives on a digital platform. So people are making the assumption that it's like digital marketing. Everything's trackable. Right? I mean, that's what happened with digital marketing. You can track a banner, a button, a conversation, click-through, you search, affiliates, email, it's all trackable. So everyone's gotten spoiled in this whole digital world thinking that everything can be tracked from the initial click all the way through to the sale. And they're assuming that social is that. But social is like TV. Social is like everyday interaction. Social is about what you do on the store level. When companies say, make sure you help people, look at the downturn of Home Depot came when all of a sudden you couldn't find people in the stores. Lowe's leveraged that by making sure they had people there to help you. Yeah. Becoming the store that you can go there and know it, understand, find things. All of a sudden now, and you can track this. If you see the upturn in Home Depot stock, go in the store now and people are there and you know the culture is saying, help people. Mm-hmm. I mean, 2 years ago, you couldn't find someone to help you in a Home Depot store. So these are things that are not measurable hour to hour. They're about building a brand. So, you know, relationships are like muscle tissue. The more you engage them, the stronger they get. And bottom line, common sense, people like to do business more with people they like than people they don't like. Same thing with companies. So trust, loyalty, totally trackable. That's the ROI of social. And then, of course, don't ever forget the social insurance side of things. When you build relationships in your crisis, your advocates will come to your rescue. They will come and protect you. They will come and speak to you. And when you build social cred like that, when the time comes when you say, we messed up, sorry, people don't go, oh yeah, they don't really care. They say, hey, these guys are engaged with us every day. We're going to give them a bye here. We're going to let them go. So I think that all of those things are really, really important. And don't ever forget that every legacy company, every company that's been in business for 10 years or more has some kind of legacy data about loyalty programs. Yeah. And even how loyalty programs have become commoditized today. You still know, almost every retailer knows, almost every product guy knows, that someone that's in their loyalty program is a better customer than someone that's not. Longer lifetime value of the customer, higher average order value, more frequency of purchase, and the same thing happens when you engage people socially.
Great. So I think we heard a lot of valuable information about the book, about the economy that is based on return on relationships, and I'd like to know one more thing to close this beautiful interview. What's your favorite trend right now? You're now here at South by Southwest. What's like the hottest thing, and what are you looking into?
I'm not a trend guy, to be honest with you, and I certainly don't come to events like this to find what's trending. I watch my daughter, and I watch what kids are doing, and what I'm really interested in is how communication is evolving. Mm-hmm. So to me, what's really interesting about Snapchat, and I think Snapchat's basically over between you and me, mm-hmm. But the concept is not over. The concept is that a 15-year-old will tell you that what they love about Snapchat is that it's a way to communicate when you have nothing to say, which means that people are still desperate for that connection. And I think that connection is really where we're going to go with this now. First it was the expanding of networks. Everything was numbers. How many Twitter followers do you have? How many people follow you on Facebook? Now it's starting to become more about the connection, because so many people have followings now. I mean, most people on Twitter have been on it for a while. They've got more than 2,000 followers. They've hit that tipping point where there's value there. But now they're trying to figure out, how do I engage people more? There's something new that's launching that I do think is going to be really cool, called Nestivity. Okay. Nestivity. And what they're trying to do is create sub-communities within your Twitter following, so that you can have real conversations and take it to a place where you can converse and really follow the conversation, but it still publishes out to the platform. So I find something like that very, very, very interesting. And bottom line, return on relationship, what I'm thinking about, it's not return on relationship versus ROI, it's return on relationship leads to ROI. Mm-hmm. And remember that ROI is strictly about numbers. Okay, numbers, dollars, ROI is about people. And if you look at the successful companies in this country, the ones that make it about people are the ones that are most successful, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for your time, Ted. It's been a pleasure, an honor to speak to you, and I hope we'll keep in touch. And
absolutely.
Thank you also for your attention, and yeah. Check us out, peopleizers.com. We are friends. Return on relationship or a peopleized world. Peace. Thanks, Ted.
My pleasure.
So, what are you up to today?